What's up, guys? This is Kyle from Wax Museum, and if you're watching this, there's a good chance you saw my last video where I tracked down a bunch of every player, every game laundry tags to compile a spreadsheet and hopefully get some more context or information for some of my favorite basketball relic cards. Well, the day that video came out, I was very surprised. A collector sent me a picture of a Tyler Hansbrough tag card along with the message, "Hey, not my card, but wanted you to see this for your research." And to be honest, when I put that video out, I didn't think any new Pacers tag pictures would emerge that quick, but that's one of the reasons why I try to offer up a lot of my card research to the public. It gets people thinking about this stuff, and in some cases, they might have information that's able to help. And that's part of what makes the card community such an amazing place. So anyway, now that I had this new information, I headed over to the MyGray website and plugged the Hansbrough code in to see if it was in the database. It was not, but when I added it to the spreadsheet, I noticed it was surrounded by a few cards from March of 2012, which piqued my interest because of another card I own, a 2012-2013 Gold Standard Laundry tag that I previously figured out was from March 3rd of 2012, and it wasn't too hard to figure that out. The tag that I own shows most of that date. I eventually found the other tag because it's a print run to 2, and it shows the rest. And so I was able to figure out it's from March 3rd. So while I can't prove it 100%, I think it's a reasonable assumption that all 3 of these tag pieces were from a jersey used on that date, on March 3rd. And that's all very encouraging for me because this is the kind of stuff I hoped would come to light the more I pieced all of this information together. Okay, so now that I have that update, and now that I've made this spreadsheet and I have all this information on file, it got me thinking about my next steps. Obviously, I don't want to stop there. I put so much work in. What could I try that might combine this information and, some of the other stuff that I've tried before, like the whole flashlight approach? Well, I figured the first step would be to compile a list of all of Panini's game-dated Pacers cards, which I pretty much had this list in my head, but I had never typed it out, and I had never really looked at all the data together. So I figured, you know what, I'll do that. And then that way I could also get the dates for every card. So I'm going to run through those here real quick and show those on screen. And I'm going to show them by the order that the jersey was used. So not necessarily when the cards were released. So like if there's a retro card, it might not be in the same order. So there's a 2012-2013 stat line card from Innovation of George Hill that was used December 14th, 2012. There's a David West Court Kings card from 2013 that was used February of 2013. There are 3 cards in a 2016 Immaculate set called Special Events Materials. Now, the set's from 2016. The jerseys, though, are from 2013 because they're from the 2013 Global Games, and the Pacers played 2 games there. So those jerseys are either from October 10th or October 13th. My guess is both. But I don't have that information. I don't know that for sure. But either way, they're within a 3-day time span. After those 3 cards, then, there is a George Hill 2014 Court Kings card that it was from November of 2013. There's a Paul George 2014 Court Kings card that was from November of 2013. And then there's a Paul George preferred stat line memorabilia booklet. I've showed that one on the channel before. That was actually from his career high where he had 48 points. That was December 5th of 2015. And then the last one was from a Miles Turner playoff game. It was in 2016 Court Kings, and it was from April 26th of 2016. Really haven't had any game-dated Pacer stuff since then, aside from a Sabonis All-Star piece, which I'm not really counting that. So it's kind of a shame. I wish we would get more. But anyway, I don't own all of these cards, but I do have a regular or prime version of most of them. So I decided to grab my flashlight and dig them all out. And you know what? That takes a lot of work. So while I was in those boxes, I grabbed a lot of other jumbo patches from the same era and from the same players as well, with the thought that maybe some of them had the same 6-digit code under the patch as the game-dated stuff, which meant they could be attributed to the same game. I won't bore you with all the details, but I do want to share a pair of interesting matches that I found. And the first one involved those special event materials cards that I talked about. I don't have a Hibbert one on hand, but I do have the CJ Watson and the Jan Mahimi. And like I said, those were both pieces from the 2013 Global Games. Well, when I tested them with the flashlight, they had similar 6-digit numbers. Watson was 165744, and Mahimi was 165738. And then the Mahimi was actually one number off from another card I checked out, a Louis Scola patch from 2013-2014 Immaculate. That was 165739. So while that Scola is not a game-dated card, everything kind of lines up. They're all white jerseys. They're all sequential here. They're all from the same time frame. My thinking is that Panini probably bought a batch of Pacers jerseys from the 2013 Global Games, and the Scola might be from that time frame as well. If not those games, then maybe one that was right after that. So that's something I keep in the back of my mind while I hope that one day a tag with more information emerges. The second match I want to talk about, and the final one, is the one that I think is the most interesting by far, and it involves a 2013-2014 Court Kings relic of David West, which contains pieces of a jersey he wore against the Knicks on February of 2013. Now, somehow I was lucky enough to get 2 of the Prime version, which is numbered to 5. I always thought the low print run was kind of odd. A lot of the other players in the set are out of 25, but my suspicion is they just used the nameplate for these David West cards because there's only 5 of them, and the 2 that I have are nameplate pieces. So the question then is, where did the rest of the jersey end up? Well, to figure that out, I had to use the flashlight on the game-dated version first. And thankfully, I was able to see the code, which is not always the case, but it's a lot easier with the white jersey pieces. The code on the game-dated one was 157223. Well, as luck would have it, one of the other cards that I grabbed when I was going through stuff was a 2012-2013 Immaculate Jumbo patch of David West that, when I put the flashlight on it, also had the number 157223. So that was a match. I felt good about that. But I thought, you know what? There was something I remembered that would allow me to possibly take this to the next step. I remember that I had saved a collage of those 2012 Immaculate pieces that Panini had published on one of their blogs before the set came out. That was back when they were courting collectors. So, in theory, if that picture was good enough, I could see all those mesh holes up close, and then I could go to Getty Images and search David West from that game, and, I could see that everything matched up, and I could kind of double check. Well, the Panini picture was good. The Getty photos, not so much. I mean, they weren't bad photos, right? But for what I was wanting to do, they just didn't work. They were not close enough that I could match all the mesh holes up. I probably still could do it if I looked close enough, but wasn't able to do it at the time. But like I said, that would have just been double checking things, because I've confirmed with a former Panini employee before that each jersey gets a unique 6-digit number. So the fact that both relics had the number, that's enough to say that they're from the same game. So that was pretty exciting to find, and that's kind of where I'm at right now. That's where this latest relic plunge has taken me. I feel really good about my progress so far. I hope to get more codes from those every player, every game tags. Maybe someone out there could help me with some of the website data for that. I'm going to keep looking at relic cards with my flashlight. I looked at a small sample today, maybe 10 or 15 of them. And maybe I'll find some more stuff that I can cross-reference with some of the data that I've already got in the process. And then, like I said on my last video, there's a chance that Panini has some sort of a relic purge coming. I know we've already seen parts of that with Logo Man patches. And, maybe some more information will get out when those patches come out, in which case I will definitely be ready. So that's all I have for now. Thanks to those of you that have stuck around. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button, leave a comment, and if you haven't done so already, make sure to subscribe. Remember, there are new episodes of the audio podcast that come out every Thursday. And as always, thanks for watching.